Hello and welcome to Poseidwn Tech. I'm Theo and this is my office. So please come inside. Let me introduce my assistant, Kate. Kate is responsible for sales department, while I am responsible for the technical support. One of the key elements of my office is the office telephone system that allows me to be very flexible using my mobile phone. So, today's episode is about Yeastar S20 VoIP PBX for small business. S20 is a standalone PBX system that supports 20 users, 10 concurrent calls, up to 4 FXS, FXO, BRI ports, up to 1 GSM 3G 4G channel, and 20 VoIP Trunks. It has a modular design with 2 onboard module slots. These are the available modules: S2 module for 2 analog telephones, O2 module for 2 PSTN lines, SO module for 1 analog telephone and 1 PSTN line, B2 module for 2 BRI ports, GSM module for 1 GSM channel, 3G module and 4G LTE module. For this tutorial, I will use the O2 module that supports 2 analog PSTN lines. I will use, instead of desk phones, mobile devices with Linkus Softphone App. S20 PBX provides you with many features such as call transfer, music on hold, video calls, IVR, ring group, call recordings and much more. So, in this tutorial, I will use Yeastar's S20 PBX, which I will connect it in my local LAN. For outgoing calls, I will use a PSTN line, and instead of desk phones, I will use 2 mobile devices with Linkus Softphone App. I will show you how to make outgoing calls and how to apply different rules. How to use interactive voice response known as IVR, which is a telephone technology that interacts with incoming calls. IVR uses recordings and telephone keys. According to which keys are pressed, the system collects the information obtained to offer the person on the other side of the line the best answer. Finally, we will create 2 scenarios for incoming calls, one for working days and one for weekends. This is the S20 PBX from Yeastar. It comes in this box. So, let's unbox it. Inside the box you will find Linkus application brochure, the quick start guide, a warranty card, the S20 device unit, four rubber feet, an Ethernet cable, and 12 volts DC power adapter. S20 is really a small PBX. On the front panel there are the LED indicators. From left to right we have the power indicator, system indicator, WAN indicator, LAN indicator and port indicator. On the back panel we have 4 RJ11 ports, 1 WAN port, 1 LAN port, 1 TF card slot, the antenna socket, reset button and the power interface. This is the O2 module for 2 PSTN lines. Let's install it. Turn over the PBX. Loosen the screws on the bottom of the device. Remove the upper cover. Here you can see the internal structure of the PBX. There are 2 slots available for module installation. Insert the O2 module on slot 1. Close the cover and fix the screws. Attach the rubber feet. Connect PSTN line from the wall jack to the first FXO port. Connect the LAN port to a switch with an Ethernet cable. Plug the provided power adapter into the power jack on S20 and the other end to a standard electrical wall socket. The system now is booting. To reset the PBX, ensure that it is powered on and fully boot. Keep pressing the reset button for more than 5 seconds. Then release it. PBX will start to perform the reset process. On the back of the PBX you will find a sticker with the default IP address and default username and password. The default IP address of the PBX is 192.168.5.150. In order to access this IP address from your PC, the PC and the PBX must be on the same network. I have connected the PBX on my local LAN through a switch, and my computer is connected also on my local LAN through Wi-Fi. The problem is that my computer's IP address is 192.168.2.69, while PBX IP address is 192.168.5.150. Since the network ID is not the same, PC cannot connect to the PBX. So we need first to change the network ID of the PC. Let me show you how. I am using a Mac computer. So, click on the Wi-Fi icon. Go to Open Network Preferences. From Wi-Fi tab, go to Advanced. Select TCP/IP. From Configure IP version 4, select Manually. Give an IP address with the same network ID as PBX. Leave subnet mask the default one. There is no need to fill router's IP address. Press OK. And apply. Open a browser and type the default IP of the PBX. Log in with username admin and password the word password. Agree with the license agreement. I will not use the wizard, so I will skip it. This is the web interface of the PBX. Go to Settings. From System, select Network. I will leave host name as IP PBX. There are 3 modes to select: Single, Dual and Bridge. Let me explain you the differences. In single mode, only LAN port is enabled and can be used for uplink connection. In dual mode, both ports can be used for uplink connection, and users will need to assign the default interface and configure gateway IP for this interface. In bridge mode, LAN port will be used for uplink connection, and one port interface will be used as bridge for a PC connection. So, let's select bridge mode. LAN port can be configured as DHCP, static IP or PPoE. I suggest you to give a static IP address to your PBX. Change the IP address according to your network settings. Press Save. Press Yes to reboot. Now we have to restore the IP address of our computer. Go to Network Preferences, Advanced, TCP/IP, and select using DHCP. Press OK and apply. Type the new IP address of the PBX and log in with default username and password. Go to Date and Time. Adjust the time zone according to your region. Enable Daylight Saving Time. It is a good practice to synchronize PBX with an NTP server. Press Save. And reboot the PBX. Back to Settings. Select Email. Here we will set up the system's mailbox in order to be able to receive notifications from PBX. In this case, I will use a Gmail account. As you can see, SMTP server and POP server are filled automatically. Press Test. Test failed, so let's go to Gmail to see why. It seems that Gmail has blocked the test mail. Let's go to Settings to fix this. Go to Forwarding POP IMAP. Enable POP and IMAP. Press Save. Click on User's icon and select Manage your Google account. Go to Security and scroll down to find Less Secure App Access. Turn on access. Now let's test it again. Test mail has been successfully sent. Don't forget to press Save and apply. Go to User's icon and select My Settings. Change the default password and type your email address. This will be very helpful if you ever need to recover your password. Press Save. Select General Settings. Go to Extension Preferences. Here we can select the range of the extension numbers. For user extensions, it is supported 1 digit to maximum 7 digits. For example, I would like extension numbers 10 to 90. Press Save. Select Voice Prompts. Go to System Prompt. The default system prompt is English, but you can download more languages. I will download Greek for the users that don't speak English. Press Save and Apply. Go to Maintenance. Let's check for a new firmware. I will update now. Back to Settings. Select Extensions. I will delete the default ones. Allow me first to explain what is extension. Extensions are accounts that are created in the PBX for every user of the telephone system. Extension number can be assigned in an analog phone, an IP phone, or a soft phone. Let's add the first extension. It is supported SIP protocol, which is used by all IP phones. IAX protocol, which is used mainly by Asterix. FXS is for analog phones, so it is required to select the specific port where the phone is plugged in. If you want, you can select the 3 types of extensions simultaneously, so you can have multiple terminals with the same extension number. For this tutorial, I will select SIP. This is the extension number, and as you can see, it was added automatically by the extension range that we set up earlier. I will choose extension number 18th. The caller ID must be the same as the extension. Registration name is very important since it's the username that will be used for an IP phone registration. It is convenient to be the same as extension. In caller ID name, I will write my name. So, next time that someone receives a call from me, he will see on the screen my name and the extension number. Registration password is the password that will be used for an IP phone registration. Concurrent registrations supports up to 5 SIP devices to be registered with the same extension number. In my case, I will need 2 since I will register my iPhone and my computer. It is very helpful to type user's email in order to enable features like voicemail to mail or set up very easily Linkus app. As prompt language, I will select for this user English. It is not necessary to change now user's password. User can change it at the initial setup of Linkus. Go to Presence and Ring Strategy. Since I will not use a dedicated SIP phone, but my mobile phone with Linkus app, I will select for Ring first Linkus Mobile Client and Ring secondly Linkus Desktop Client. From Features, I will enable voicemail. Here you can select the email that voicemails will be delivered. I will select user's email, which I set up earlier. Press Save. Let's add the second extension. Don't forget to apply the settings. Select now Linkus. Enable Linkus Server. I will not enable for now Linkus Cloud Service. I will make another tutorial for this. This is the IP address of the PBX. and this port is used from Linkus server. Press Save. Go to Linkus Client Settings. Here you can enable Linkus Client for each user. To invite a user, select him and press Send Email. The user will receive an email from PBX with all necessary information. Copy this link. Download Linkus app. Allow notifications. Linkus detect the link and automatically get the login information. So press Yes. Agree with the license agreement. Set a new password. If you want, you may allow access to your contacts. Log in again using the new password. Allow access to microphone. Go to Me tab. Select user's profile. Select user's photo and change the photo of your profile. Everything is ready. We can now receive calls in our mobile. When you answer the call, tap Linkus in order to open Linkus app and have access to more features like mute, dial pad, speaker, transfer call, hold, and record. To make a call, select dial pad or directory. From Me tab, you can have access to recordings. Back to PBX. Select Trunks. Trunks are the available channels in order for the system to communicate with the outside world. So Trunks allow you to make or receive calls from outside world. Since I have PSTN Lines, the O2 module is required, adding to PBX two FXO ports. One for PSTN Line 1 and one for PSTN Line 2. So here you can see the two FXO ports. By pressing the Edit button, you can access the configuration of the FXO port. For example, you can adjust the RX volume, which is the receiving volume of the FXO port, or the TX volume, which is the transmitting volume of the FXO port. I will leave everything to default settings. Now it's time to open Call Control. Select Outbound Routes to create the rules for outgoing calls. By default, there is the route out rule. Let's edit it. I will change the name to Outgoing Calls. Here, you can set the dial patterns. Allow me to explain this with some examples. Pattern is just a rule for dialing a number. Strip allows you to specify the number of digits that will be stripped from the front of the phone number before the call is placed. Prepend defines the digits that will be prepended to the phone number before the call is placed. It will actually work as a prefix. Now, let's make some examples. For this first example, I will type X and dot as pattern. X matches digits 0 to 9, so the rule means that I can dial any number that starts from 0 to 9. Dot means that after the first digit, more digits must follow. So the target number cannot be one digit. Actually, this rule allows us to make outgoing calls to anyone. So, if you dial a phone number, the outgoing calls rule will be applied, and the phone number that will be called will be the same as the dialed one. For the second example, let's suppose that users must press 9 before dialing a phone number. So pattern must be 9 and dot. 9 means that all phone numbers must start with 9. And dot, the target number cannot be one digit. If we leave the rule like this, and the user dials a phone number, the phone number that will be used in the call will remain unchanged, causing the call to be rejected due to invalid phone number. So in our rule, we must remove number 9 before the call is placed, using strip. Since we need to remove only one digit, strip must be 1. Now let's try again. The call now will be placed successfully. For the third example, let's suppose that we want to restrict users from making international calls. So, I will leave pattern as x dot in order to call any number like the first example. And as prepend, I will use W030, which is the country code, for Greece. So, when the user dials a phone number, the country code will be prepended to the phone number before the call is placed. Since this phone number is Greek, the prefix 0030, which is the country code for Greece, makes the phone number valid. Now, let's suppose that the user dials a phone number from United States. According to our rule, W030 will be attached in the phone number, causing the call to be rejected due to invalid phone number. Back to PBX. For my office, I will leave pattern to x dot, so anyone can make calls without any restrictions. Here you can select the trunks for making outgoing calls. I will select the two FXO ports. So for outgoing calls, both PSTN lines will be used. Here you can select the extensions that can make outgoing calls. You can select them one by one or all at once. So these two extensions are able to make outgoing calls through the selected trunks. Press save. Now it's time to create the rules for incoming calls. There will be two scenarios for incoming calls, one for working days and one for weekends. So first we have to create the time conditions. I will delete the default one. Press add. I will name it working days. The working hours for my office is 9 to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday. Press save. Press add. I will name it weekends, for 12 o'clock to 11:59. Sunday and Saturday. Of course, I can make more time conditions for the hours that my office is closed on working days, but for simplicity, I will not do it now. Select Inbound Routes. Edit the default route. I will name it Incoming Calls. Here you can select the trunks for incoming calls. I will select both PSTN lines. Here you can enable or disable time conditions. Let's add working days and weekends. For example, the destination for working days will be reception's extension number. And for weekends, reception's voicemail. Don't forget to apply settings. As you remember at the beginning of this tutorial, I will use IVR, the interactive voice response. For example, I would like to create something like this. Hello and thank you for calling Poseidwn Tech. For sales, press 1, and for technical support, please press 2. And for the weekends, something like this. Our office is now closed. Please dial 2 and leave a message. So, step number 1 is to create the recordings from voice prompts. Go to Custom Prompts and click on Record New. I will name it Working Days Rec. I will select my extension number, and when I press Record, I will receive a phone call from the PBX allowing me to use my mobile phone for the recording. When you finish with the recording, just hang up the phone. Let's create also the recording for weekends. From Call Features, select IVR. I will delete the default one and add a new one. I will name it Working Days IVR. The prompt will be Working Days Recording. I don't want to repeat the voice prompt since the users can repeat the voice prompt using hashtag key. And also users will be able to dial extensions. Select Key Press Event. Key 1 will redirect the incoming call to extension 15 for sales. Key 2 will redirect the incoming call to extension 18 for technical support. Key 0 will redirect the incoming call to reception for several inquiries. Timeout and invalid selection will redirect the incoming call to reception. Finally, hashtag key will repeat the voice prompt. In order to select this IVR, we have first to save it. Now we can select it. Press Save. So if someone calls my office, he will hear a welcome message. If he knows the extension number, he can dial it. Otherwise, he can select one of the available options. If he doesn't make a selection or he makes an invalid one, the call will be redirected to reception. Finally, if he wants to repeat the message, he can press the hashtag key. Let's add also the IVR for weekends. I would like the prompt to be repeated twice, and now user cannot dial extensions. Key 2 will redirect the incoming call to reception's voicemail. Timeout will terminate the incoming call. Go to Call Control and edit incoming calls route. Since now we have IVR ready, we will change the destination of working days to Working Days IVR and weekends to Weekends IVR. Press Save and Apply. Finally, let's hear the voice prompts I made to take a small taste. Go to Voice Prompts and Custom Prompts. Press play to hear the weekend's recording. Select an extension and click on play. Thank you for calling Poseidwn Tech. Our office is now closed. Please dial 2 and leave a message which we quickly respond to during opening hours. Alternatively, please email us at info@poseidwn.tech. Do the same for working days recording. Hello, and thank you for calling Poseidwn Tech. If you know the extension of the person you wish to reach, please enter it now. For sales, press 1. For technical support, press 2. For all other inquiries, press 0 or stay on the line and a representative will be happy to assist you. To repeat this message, please press the hashtag key. So, this was S20 PBX from Yeastar. At this point, I would like to thank All1, Yeastar's official distributor in Greece, for their technical support. Thank you so much for watching. If you like my tutorials, consider subscribing to my channel. See you in the next episode.